when there's like a crypto run up or down, like everyone becomes like a financial expert.
Yeah.
And then like player goes down injured, there's a video, and like all of a sudden everyone's a doctor.
Yeah.
Seems like everyone is a UK legal expert today.
Welcome to the SorareAndrews show, where we talk fantasy football, but you never know. We'll start with the game, but we'll soon go astray on topic discussions that screenplay. We'll analyze the teams, the formation and goals, but in no time we'll digress into other roles, talking about our favorite foods and the shows we've seen, our opinions aloud, and our voices on me. It's the SorareAndrews show. Anything goes, from fantasy football to rock and roll. We may start with the pitch, but it's just a small part. We'll venture off topic, let the conversation spark. It's the SorareAndrews show.
Hello and welcome into the SorareAndrews show. I am Andrew Laird. You can find me as Lairdinho on Sorare, joined as always by Andy Black. Black on Sorare. Today to talk about our very first show, Andy.
Oh, is that what we're talking about today?
No? Are we not?
Oh, I thought we were talking about gambling, but
Oh, no. Why would we do that? It has nothing to do with anything that we would ever be doing around here.
I brought my dice.
Ooh.
Do some dice rolls.
Ready, clear ones too.
I also have a deck of cards if you want to bust these out.
What job is this?
Maybe there's like a game we can play. Like I'll shuffle these and I don't know. I do know a magic trick. Do you want to do that? I don't know any magic tricks.
Oh, did you know that John Nellis used to be a professional magician?
You're lying. There's no way that's true.
I am not lying. If there's anybody who is lying about it, it would be John. So Mike Baston, who is in chat here, sent me a link to an interview with John. It was like an hour and a half interview, and I watched the entire thing, and he was talking about all the jobs he's had in his life. And one of them was a magician who did card tricks during weddings.
Okay. And it's John, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. He worked in an ice cream shop and got fired for eating the ice cream, like when he wasn't supposed to. He actually claimed he got fired for double dipping.
You made this up.
Absolutely did not make this up. I absolutely did not. In fact, I'm going to pull it up on the screen. We're not. Should we just watch it for the next hour and a half?
Sure.
I don't think we need to do that. I do recommend that everybody check this out, though.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Add it to the video description.
Here it is. It's called "The Secret Behind John Nellis's Incredible Rise." Here, hold on. It was a very, very interesting discussion, mostly because I don't follow this this channel at all, but this is it right here. Here you go. And then I worked in an ice cream shop, and I got fired from it. See? But anyway, this is it. Inside the Industry is the show. Okay. And John was talking about how he was a magician doing card tricks. Anyway, thanks everyone for coming in. Malky was first, Bob Franklin second, and Limited Whale 5% third. Congratulations, Limited Whale. Guess I'll take the bronze on the podium. I'll be back again in 2x speed. I don't, you people. Anyway, Sora Juju, what's up? Jamie, the football guru. Only real one's half an hour early. SGT said the podium continues to elude me. It happens. Ian, what's up? Peptetta. There's Mike. I'm just going to go through all of them. I probably shouldn't have put that Mike one up on the screen, but but there it was. Like Tuggy thought he was a scientist. I like that. Tuggy is a scientist, guys. Don't be disrespectful.
Basically a scientist.
No, he is. He is one. Oh, here we go. Daniel Cooper said, that's a great podcast. I literally just stopped the newest episode to watch you guys. There we go. There we go. And this is also true. 90 minutes on this interview did not say Sorare once. This is like, I consider that worse than Serena Williams going back to the US Open and not wearing a Sorare hat. Like, what are we paying these guys for? Anyway. What's going on? Oh, right. Topic today. Andy and I each went back. Did you listen to the entire thing?
I listened to some of it, like most of it.
Okay. Same. I didn't finish it. But anyway, we went back and listened to the first show we ever did together, which was over on the RotoWire Soccer Show. And you were like, the stuff we were complaining about 3 years ago is the same stuff we're complaining about now. Not like not the whole like card prices are going to zero, because back then they weren't. But do you want to tell everyone what the first thing you said to me was about one of the complaints was?
Oh, that scores were, it was going to take like 500 points to win a division. And this is back when, captain bonus was only 20 or 25%.
Mm-hmm.
But that was part of one of our discussions, was it's going to get really hard to win. In some divisions, I think the quote was, in some divisions it'll take up to 500 points to win. And I think that was the same. Wasn't that the same scoring matrix and everything?
Oh yeah, same. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Maybe that was actually before. I forget what the tweak was that they made.
The defenders got a little bit more points.
Right, the TAA rule, whatever that was.
Yeah, the TAA rule.
But so it was like, this was in February 2021 that we did this show, and you were like, it's hard to win a reward now unless you score at least 400 points. And it was like, yeah. And you were like, you're going to need you need 500 sometime to win. And it's like, oh yeah. And then we went on and I asked you a question about card price, because like I hadn't been on the platform that long. And I was like, does it seem like card prices go down as the season goes on? And you were like, yeah, absolutely. That they always do. And I was just like, huh.
Yeah, I mean, that obviously is for completely different reasons. Now,
is it though?
It is. I mean, we can compare the two, and it's similar. But like now you have in-season utility. In-season utility definitely correlates with, the amount of time left in the season.
Yeah, that's fair. It did. The conversation was kind of along the lines of we were
talking about the dip.
We were. But
when's the best time to buy cards?
Well, that's what it was. It was more focused on the fact that like in the off season, cards are generally the cheapest.
Right.
And there was no like in season and classic back then, so it doesn't even matter. Blue Tomatoes, it is on the RotoWire Soccer channel. I'll drop a link in the chat here so you can go back. Not right now. Let me see here. Playlists. There's a whole SorareAndrews playlist there. We did a lot of shows there. Here we go. It's called What's the Deal with Sorare, as an homage to Seinfeld, I'm sure. This was before all the bundles, Andy.
It is before the bundles. That was literally our first one together, I think.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And man, do we look young.
We do.
Like these are the same people. That's a tough same guys. Anyway, there was another thing on there that I was going to bring up too from that show. It was the card prices going down. Oh, you were talking about how hard Challenger is. And you were like, back then, I think it was Ajax. And you were just like, the advice given to new players was actually to not play Challenger because it was so hard. And you were like, everybody has all the highest scoring ones. And I'm like, this is literally the PSV conversation, except it's just a different team.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's like 3 years of PSV. No, at that time it was like 2 or 3 years of IX cards, or maybe even less.
I think it was less, yeah.
Yeah, like 2 years of IX cards, and now we're talking about like 5 years worth of PSV cards.
And we probably had, like, I think back then it was, well, obviously there were a ton of Jupiler cards, just because that was like the first one, and so it's like every year, just so
there's 400 Vanakins.
Yeah, look at you. You look younger today. Anyway, so does anything really change?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's the in season stuff.
Yeah.
The in season stuff is definitely different. Now, some of the outcomes are the same, but it's kind of, I think, one of those. What is it? Correlation does not often or does not always equal causation, or is that reversed? I don't know, but it's. I think that's the point.
And do you think the like, do you think we're not, I don't want to say that like the platform is like that the current one is better now, but like obviously all of the talk back then was like about thresholds and all that stuff. And it was almost like there was a weird time in Sorare where the threshold felt like a secondary prize. And then it kind of morphed into a primary one. And maybe like the run up in ETH caused that, when people were like, oh shit, you can actually win a lot of money doing this.
Yeah.
And now we seem to have gone back that, like, well, not back because there's obviously no threshold, but like, I don't know.
Yeah, it was when it was unpegged, right? Like when it was 0.01, 0.02, no matter what, and then it was pegged to like $50 or something. I think that's when it started to change. But when it was unpegged, it was a great prize, and it was just play your 5 best guys in Global All Star.
Yeah,
It wasn't capped. It wasn't capped 240. It was go run 5 studs and collect your 0.02 ETH.
I mean, we look back, 205 points and 250 is absurdly low.
Yeah.
However, there were significantly fewer cards on the platform. So it's not like it was easy to get all of these. Like, I think we have kind of become immune to the high scores now because it's easier to get the better cards, or at least get better cards. Like back then, you know, let's say there were 1,000 players on the platform, meaning like professional footballers on the platform. And it's like, you can only make your lineup amongst those players. But now that we have like 10,000, like eventually you're going to have more players who are good. Oh yeah. And everybody, yeah. And the common goalkeeper.
Oh, the common Allison Jerem mentioned I never had one.
Me neither.
Yeah.
I hate, like,
I can't even remember
I was like, let's go.
I might have had a common Mignonway. How do you pronounce it? Whatever.
You probably did.
I didn't have any. I don't think I had a great common goalkeeper.
I had Safanov because back when I could do it, back when I got my commons, you could like draft them, but it was a cap.
Yeah.
Daniel Cooper said common Allison would be in my Hall of Fame if I still had him.
Yeah. I had a Bruno Fernandes midfielder common from back when he was at Sporting, which was a cool card, but it didn't make sense to ever use it.
No.
You wanted to use the common on your goalkeeper.
Yeah. Yeah. And not many people had a Bruno anyway.
Yeah.
Like a Bruno rare card.
Right.
Yeah, good times. The screenshots from that video actually it's from our DMs from back then. Like the site is just light years different.
Yeah. Yeah, it is weird looking at the Sorare site from 5 years ago.
3. Not even
3. Yeah.
It is just crazy to realize like how little time has passed, because it feels like an absolute eternity. I don't know. What do you think about this question from Brett? Do you think card prices going down is detrimental to the game? You can't speculate on young guys eventually making the move to a big club because they are classic cards by the time it happens.
I agree with that point regarding speculating on young players. Just that we've talked about this before, and I think you're on the other side of the fence, but I think that I think it definitely affects speculating on those types of players. Like I'm not going to buy an in-season version of a young card as a speculation piece.
Do you play U23 at all?
Yeah.
And how often do you add U23 players to help those lineups?
I bought Kochu maybe 2 weeks ago, and I bought one against forwards. So that was within the last 2 weeks.
Did you buy the new season versions?
One of them I did, one of them I didn't. I wanted the animated version of one of them.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Why didn't you
But
buy?
that's a different question though, Laird. Like he's talking about speculating on a guy that
I agree with. Yeah.
doesn't play.
Well, it's playing like. I guess I think the question is the speculation play is obviously different. Well, you were always playing that card that you bought, like your speculation play. You were always playing that in a classic competition because that's all we had, right? So theoretically, you're doing the same right now. And I think for cards that don't have the short-term utility that we would consider a speculative buy is, then there probably isn't much of a in-season premium anyway. So why does it matter?
Yeah, I think. Do you remember the nonsense around like Cherky
Sure.
and Doku? Like, I don't. You won't see that anymore.
I think it's a little different because Doku played for a little bit.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't include him, but
Yeah,
Cherky was definitely one of those nonsense type of cards, and not even say that that's like a good thing. Like I'll have to look back at that question that Brett asked. I don't know that it's a detriment. I think a lot of that stuff is like priced in or baked in.
That's sort of where I was going with it.
Yeah.
I don't feel like those cards are expensive.
Yeah, I don't think that like if there was a new Cherky, I don't think that the prices will ever explode, but that's probably a good thing because people won't get burned on a guy like that.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But I feel like we still see people buying Endrick and Articular. Like they're not elite SO5 options right now. And
yeah, so, but again, you're not getting the nonsense. I mean, Cherky was selling for way more than he like.
But everybody was. No.
Yeah, but it's different. I feel like just because of like his performance on the field had nothing to do with his price. It was all speculation that one day his scoring would be good.
Yeah. So I'm looking at Cherky's all-time chart right now. This guy's only started 54 games since game week 94.
That's more than I actually would have thought.
He has scored more than 80 points 8 times ever.
Again, more than I would have thought, but pull up his price graph.
It's too painful. So the highest was 3,500 for this beautiful Sunrise Edition card. Yeah. Like, why does he have a Sunrise Edition card?
Because of all the speculative nonsense.
Yeah. Bob said the game was immature in the days that Cherky cost a ton. It has grown and developed considerably since then.
Yeah, sure. Agree.
I think just having more cards on the platform, it's like if he's like one of 5 future stars, then like people are going to pay it. But if he's one of 50, then they're not as much.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Laird, I feel like there's an elephant in the room that we just need to discuss.
What would you like to say about that?
Well,
is this where you're like, if this is gambling, everything's gambling?
Yeah, I mean, let me get on my soapbox, but yeah, like I don't know enough about UK law. Like you mentioned, we're all experts on this now, but I do think it's important to like look at the facts and like look at the details of what we're even talking about here, and it'll be interesting to see what aspects or what parts of Sorare they can define as gambling. Is it the speculation of card values? Is it the SO5 portion? Like what part of it is? And it's going to be interesting to see what their findings are, how they try to prove that case. I think Sorare's done a pretty good job at like positioning themselves in a way to where they can defend against an accusation like this.
So I am also not a legal expert in any country.
So, but give us your legal opinion on this.
So here we go. Not legal advice or financial advice.
Yeah.
But what I found interesting, and I think what you said is really important, that it's interesting, like what parts of the game that they're kind of, that what did they look at and they were like, that's gambling.
Right.
Because with the DraftKings Rainmakers like shutdown, I don't think DraftKings ever confirmed this, but it sounded like the pushback, the legal pushback that they had was not about gambling, but actually that the NFTs were securities, and so
Correct.
it's kind of like an investment product.
Yeah, there's a particular test that you can do.
Yeah,
and they failed it. I forget. It's like the
I
guy.
Yeah.
We'll call it the
Laird Black test.
Sure.
So the issue that, so again, we don't know what the issue was that they were like, oh, that's obviously gambling. And I feel like there are aspects of it where we're like, well, if they see this as gambling, then how come they don't see this as gambling? Because it's the same thing.
Right.
And it appears that the argument that they made in terms of like EU laws were like, this is something just new. Like, this is not something that fits in any of the buckets that you guys have. And so it seems like Sorare have done a good bit of essentially lobbying in France and throughout the EU to kind of classify and define what Sorare
Set precedence,
is.
I think, is important as well.
What's that?
Setting precedence.
Yes, absolutely.
Important. Yeah.
And so they're like, instead of saying, no, we don't fit into this bucket and that's it, they're like, we don't fit into this bucket, but like, here's what we are, and let's build a framework around this. And I'm assuming that they're just hoping the UK looks at what the EU did and was like, all right, we'll do that too, which is ironic since they do the opposite. But so, yeah, I have no idea like which part of it, because it does seem like the issues that DraftKings had was more of a securities issue, not gambling. Right. And now apparently the UK one is a gambling one. And I'm not sure like what part of the game that is.
Right. And like, if it has to do with like the values of cards and the speculation and buying and selling, then you could say that any trading card game that exists, or any definitely any trading card game, but like buying a pack of cards. I bought my Panini cards or baseball cards or whatever. I'm speculating that I might get a good card. I might hold a Barry Bonds card and hope that his value goes up over time. How's that different? How's that different than buying a digital Carlos Heel and speculating that his value might go up over time?
So I'm not sure that is actually the gambling part.
Yeah.
And again, like, I don't know a thing about UK gambling laws other than you don't pay taxes on your winnings. Shout out to everybody who actually wins.
Yeah.
And so I feel like what you were describing, the whole like buying a card, speculating it becomes more valuable later, is more of a security than it is a gambling product.
Right. That would be the security issue, right?
Right. But also, I don't think trading cards are considered.
They're not.
Right. And so I'm not sure what makes one okay and not the other. And I think the issue ultimately is that it's like they claim to be free to play. Like Sorare Pro is free to play. And it's like, we know yes, technically it is.
You could win cards in rival. Like that would be part of the defense, I'm sure, is that you can win the cards playing rivals, playing in these other free to play modes, and grind your way into playing the pro game. Now, like you said, realistically, we know people don't really do that, but like that's probably part of their defense.
Is it even a defense though? Daniel Cooper said the Laird Black test sounds exactly like something that was in my finance textbooks. See, we'll be fine, Andy.
Yeah.
Quinny says it's not gambling, so I think that's fine.
Yeah.
This is your example was the same. Pokemon considered gambling?
I wouldn't think so, but like if you look at a game like Pokemon, the trading card game, or Magic the Gathering, there's the aspect of the cards where the cards are more valuable depending on if you can use them in a tournament or not, or if the card is more rare or more powerful and you can do more with that card. It's no different than a soccer card. Like a Messi is more valuable than a guy that doesn't play. The same with a Magic card. So I don't think it's the card portion. It's the SO5 portion. But again, when you compare it to like Magic the Gathering or Pokemon, they have tournaments and stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
You can win money without putting up a stake. So what's different?
Yeah. I think one of the points that everybody's kind of putting in the chat is essentially gambling is if you stake something, and if you lose it. And when we play SO5, like we don't lose our cards, like we still have them.
Yep.
And so I think ultimately it all just comes back to this is just different than any product that's ever existed, and they're trying to lump it into an industry that it's not, because it's like the closest thing they can think of. Like, oh, fantasy sports, yeah, that can be like fantasy sports was considered sports betting here in the US, but it's like most of those were also you stake money to play it, and this is very different, that you're like buying something that then allows you to enter. Quinny said the one thing I forgot to add, Quinny did a video on it, which we'll all go watch as soon as this stream is over. But he says, I forgot, in terms of random chance, we choose our cards. We don't get a random lineup allocated to us.
Yeah. So in that theory, it's skill based, right?
Right.
That's leading to in that direction. And Ben said he's nervous for October 4th. I mean, yeah, I would be too. Like, we don't know what these quote unquote morons are going to do. Like, they're politicians and lawyers and stuff. Like, I don't know. I don't trust any of them.
Well, I think you just have to remember that a lot of them have absolutely zero expertise or knowledge of how this stuff works.
Yeah, which is bad.
Sure.
Really bad.
Yeah. It's Nico's job to teach him.
Well, hopefully it does sound like he has a good legal team that can, maybe educate them.
Yeah. I mean, they literally helped write the framework in France. Like, it's not like they just hired someone they found like on a billboard and they're just like, oh, that guy'll represent us there. Like, they obviously.
Ooh, what would the French version of Better Call Saul be? Like, I need a French name for this.
I got nothing on that one. Mike said, I think the confusion lies in the card values and the fact that people have been vocal in how much they've lost. And it gives the UKGC, which I believe is the UK Gambling Commission, football index vibes, and they screwed the pooch regulating that one massively.
Sure.
Yeah, that was a funny one. Like, you and I, we weren't even eligible to play football index, but like that was I was going to say heavily regulated, but this clearly wasn't heavily, but it was a regulated one that just.
Yeah. I mean, we just had a card boom, like a physical trading card boom in like 2021. Are we going to regulate those industry, like the baseball card industry, because people bought all these cards at the peak and now they've quote unquote lost money?
Yeah, I don't know. Do we know what the reason Sorare blocked in Switzerland gambling or something? I believe they blocked it because they consider it international gambling. Yeah. As like an international gambling company. Like, they looked at it and they were like, yeah, it's gambling, and they just stopped. No discussion. I don't think there are enough people in Switzerland for Sorare to be like, we're fighting this one.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I feel like we tend to look at it. I mean, obviously, we're sitting in a position where we don't think it's gambling. And we live in a place where it allows, like, we can gamble on things. And I was going to say we choose to do this instead, but it's obviously not just instead. But it's I don't think it's I think it's just very different. And so it's not anything that we like what we argue and think doesn't not like they're watching this video and someone in the UK is like, "Oh, I get it. Okay, not gambling."
Yeah, and like Tom mentioned in chat that like if you describe Sorare to someone who has zero knowledge, they would say it's gambling. And I agree, but I think it all comes down to technicalities. And I think that, they can, if you really boil it down to technicalities, it's probably not.
I think that's an interesting one because like I don't know if people here like the US laws in terms of sports betting and gambling are different. I mean, maybe they're becoming more similar.
It's a complete joke.
Well, that too. But I think that here at least there's kind of been a precedent that like fantasy sports is not sports betting and not gambling. And while daily fantasy sports is now becoming more like that, and I think you could argue that Sorare is closer to DFS than it is like maybe it's not even. I don't know. Like I feel like you would say somebody like as Tom said, if somebody with zero knowledge and you're like, is this gambling? They'd say yes. And you'd be like, what about it is gambling? And as they talk through it, they're like, oh, maybe it's not.
Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe it's as simple as that.
Our state is looking to legalize sports betting like as we speak. And I get all these advertisements on my timelines. It's so ridiculous. And it's funny because the whole bill has to do with that money going towards schools, which we know what'll happen is they'll just provide less money to the schools and whatever. It'll just subsidize what they were already paying. But the funniest thing is the people that are most against sports betting in my state is like educators because they're somehow not getting something out of this. Like it pisses me off so much. It's like these are separate things, and when you tie them together, it just screws everything up. It makes me so mad.
Sports betting in the U.S. is a mess. Mostly because it's all state. Yeah, it's particularly absurd here in Connecticut because there are 2 Native American tribes that had casinos because they weren't state grounds, and then when they legalized sports betting in Connecticut, they said the operators had to work with one of the Native American tribes. So we only have 2 options in the state because there were only 2 Native American tribes here. So it's like, what is the downside for Sorare to be regulated as a gambling company? Lots of taxes. I think that gambling licenses are very expensive.
I would say that's it. What you said, Laird, because if they say that they're gambling in England or Britain or whatever you want to call it, you're setting that precedent everywhere now. And now you need a gambling license in every country that you operate in. Yeah. So they don't want to set that precedent, I don't think.
Sure. Yeah, because like that's exactly what happened in the US. It's like New York said, no, you need a gambling license. And they were like, okay, we'll pay that. And then it's like California's like, no, you need one here too. And now you have to pay all of these. Like, yeah, they don't want to do that. Tyler said, it's funny how the Premier League has Malaysian betting websites on their team shirts, and the news article mentions how Sorare is a Premier League sponsor. Like, sports betting is legal in the UK, it's just regulated.
Right.
And so it's not that it's illegal and that they're doing something, but it's like the fact that Sorare is now being considered like one of those companies. Like
they're trying to get paid is what they're trying to do.
It feels like it, right?
Yeah.
Even though winnings on if Sorare.
I'm sorry. They're trying to look after their consumers.
That's it. Yeah. I think Sorare is gambling friendly, as a lot of gamblers or sports bettors are interested in Sorare. So, like, I don't think that's fair. Like, a lot of people who like Sorare really like pizza. That doesn't make us like
a lot of
culinary artists.
I won't do it. I was going to talk about certain political things.
Don't do it. Don't do it. It's great. At least
please, God, no.
At least we have articles talking about Sorare in the Guardian and New York Times today. Actually, didn't see a New York Times one.
Yeah, no news is bad news, right?
Yeah.
If that's true, Laird, if no news is bad news, let me say the political thing, please.
Not even with like a disclaimer that like Andy Black doesn't speak for anyone but himself or whatever. That doesn't express the views of Sorare data. Agent Cooper said betting sponsors in the Premier League on Premier League shirts is being banned in a couple seasons. That's fine. I mean, there are plenty of like legal companies that they don't want on their shirts as well. Like how many vaping companies are on on MLS shirts? None. Like they don't want them.
Yeah.
Here you go. Rob nailed it. Everyone who likes bagels likes Sorare. Now we're talking.
So far, every Sorare manager that I know likes bagels. So
yeah.
It must be true.
Must be true. It's as simple as that. Now we just need everybody who likes bagels to like Sorare. Maybe that's the marketing angle they haven't attacked yet. They have bagels in the UK, like real bagels. What if Nico showed up like with a huge thing of bagels and was like,
I feel like they have some fake bagel, like an English bagel. And it's like flattened or something.
It's square.
Yeah, maybe. Like an English muffin turned into a bagel.
Is an English muffin with a hole in it?
Yeah.
I'd still eat that. Holty said we have the New York Bagel Company. Oh, simple as that. The UK Gambling Commission must be fun at parties. So did we solve it? Are we legal now?
Probably not, but when is that? Is that next week or the week after? Well, we all have something to look forward to within the next week.
Yeah, exactly. Tom said, I'm a professional sports gambler, excuse me. Everything the UKGC does is never to my benefit. It's always to the gambling company's benefit.
Yeah.
UKGC is only out for themselves.
Yeah,
like, do you think the other, like the UK gambling companies care about Sorare?
I don't think it's affecting their bottom line, really.
Right?
You know, yeah. But I think it's more of it's like another piece of the pie that they can get their hands on.
Blue Tomato said, imagine Nicola twittering just a judge's hammer today. Maybe on October 4th. Maybe we'll see it.
Dude, that's the comment of the month. I love that. That's so good.
Sorare Scout's wondering if we can go to the court case.
Well, you can try, right? What are they going to do?
I don't know. What would they do?
Yeah, that might be what the bomb tweet was about.
Tyler said the first line of the New York Times says players buy in crypto, which isn't completely true. Gaming Commission may take the crypto. So actually, I saw the New York Times so Joey Durso, who's at the Athletic, which is owned by the New York Times, like shared his article from 2 years ago today. And I think that's the one that's making the round.
Yep.
Like that article from 2 years ago, like Sorare is very different. Despite the show starting with the fact that 3 years ago it was exactly the same, totally different, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, that was like he posted that and he was like, "See, I told you so." Like that was his whole point was like, I wrote this 2 years ago.
I warned you 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Footy Woody said 372 market credits for anyone who attends the court hearing. Mike, do you have to wear the wig if you just go to the court, or just if you're? Oops.
Did we get like
the experience is actually taking place at the court hearing? That's a good one.
Did we get clarification on the whole wig thing? Do they all have to wear a wig?
I think all the lawyers and judges.
All the lawyers and judges. What if I'm like the defendant and I'm in trouble? You gonna put a wig on me?
Like, is Nico gonna have to wear a wig? I don't know.
Is that like a thing of respect, or can I just not do it?
I don't know.
You're not an expert on this.
Yeah, this is my UK legal expertise has been drained at this point. Although Blue
I'm sure we
Tomatoes,
have plenty of experts
Blue
in chat.
Tomatoes. Hold on, somebody said they were a UK lawyer. I think it was Blue Tomatoes.
I wonder if he was just saying that because we all kind of are right now.
I mean, who are we to? I missed this comment earlier. DFS was shut down in Germany because of gambling.
Well, DFS is gambling, so
I think so.
sense. Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Only the lawyers, barristers, and judges. The hell is a barrister? Is that like a...
Who do they think they're fooling? Is what I want to know. You know, what's the purpose? What are we doing this for?
Okay, Blue Tomato said I'm basically a lawyer, like Tuggy is basically a scientist. Okay.
Very nice.
Yeah, I don't know what comes out of this. I know it's like totally out of our hands. We can't do anything.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Be fun to watch from afar. Doesn't affect me too much. Yeah.
Do we get gavels and wigs and reward boxes on October 4th?
October 4th will either be a big nothing burger or the biggest sales spike in VPNs in the UK.
Let me see. What day of the week is that? Wednesday? Oh, it's Friday. Who has a case like that on a Friday? Oh, well. Kennedy said you can
get a SoCoins update.
Yeah. Kennedy just gave us one. He said you can use the Sorare coins to buy Sorare-sponsored gavels and wigs.
When is the update supposed to come? By the end of this month?
End of this month.
That gives them like 3 days.
Yeah. It was end of September, and I will give them the benefit of the doubt here that they did not say this September, just the end of September.
What's the difference?
Could be September 2025.
Oh. I see. Tyler said Friday curse.
So we're going to love their loopholes. Paul said it. What's Paul's Twitter? Oh, I found it. Let's see here. I'm guessing he writes back to a lot of things, so I don't know where I'm going to find this thing.
What's the best outcome for you regarding coins?
Like realistic?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question. Because I have a decent amount. I think it would just be cool if they... I think like the jersey stuff is cool. I don't know how many coins are out there. Like, what's their liability if they're like, yeah, 20,000, 50,000 coins for a jersey, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, we have to ship out 10,000 jerseys. Like, that's not realistic,
right?
A couple of people in chat are saying Essence. Like, I don't think that's realistic. Even though I think coins were probably I think Essence was probably born out of coins. Like, I think coins at some point they were like, yeah, we'll use those for partial cards and whatever. But
I was thinking maybe Rivals tickets. Then you can use the Rivals tickets to win boxes and then get Essence that way. I don't think you'll be able to directly buy really anything with them.
What does the UK Gambling Commission say about it?
Yeah.
I couldn't think of anything I'd want less than Rivals tickets from coins.
Well, I'm not worried about you.
You asked me.
I looked at my balance.
You asked me, what do I want?
I looked at my ticket balance, and I'm down to like 10 Rivals tickets. I need more.
You have 10?
Maybe it was 12. Oh, 17. 17.
My God.
I've been playing a lot.
I just can't get rid of them.
Well, you're not playing enough.
I play probably 10 to 20 a week.
Do you are you in a squad?
No.
Dude, squads is really fun.
Yeah, but I was saying this to you earlier. Like, I kind of play rivals when I feel like it, and I feel like squads I will be forced to play every day.
You're not forced to play every day, but squads is cool just because it holds you accountable to a certain degree.
Yeah, see, I don't want that.
No. I didn't think I wanted it either, but I like squads because I like rivals, but there's no like incentive to keep me playing. But with squads, there's like some level of accountability where it's like, all right, can't let the team down. I got to get on squads, set my lineups, and
I don't need that shit.
come on. DN said squads isn't fun.
Blue Tomato said Division 7 is easier. You know, it's funny. I was actually pissed because I got promoted to Division 6 last week, and now I'm struggling. Actually, I'm 4th. Look at that. 3 zaps for the week.
3 zaps. Yeah. Also, the new UI, very nice. It's unbelievable.
I honestly cannot get below like 165 because then I'll win 3 in a row, and it's like, here's 5 more, and I'm like, all right. Thanks.
Yeah, Dream Oblivion said only 5 of 10 need to play, which is another nice part of it too. Like if you want to take a week off, and you can, you can let your teammates keep you afloat.
Blue Tomato said, I'm in a squad with Sean. We played 1 week and then everyone gave up.
Yeah, but why? Like you want somebody really good in your squad. Like we have.
Sean gave up because the top prize is not worth anything to him.
Oh, well, the cool thing too about our squad, we have a couple of people that are either like really small users or they don't have any cards in their gallery at all. So them winning something is like really nice. And that's kind of another cool aspect is if you're in a group with somebody that does not have like a big gallery. They get jacked up when they win that black box.
What's the black box?
I don't know.
Oh.
There's like different types of boxes. One of them is like a black box.
Isn't it like the top 2 in your squad get like a reward too?
Well, it changes. Like as you get promoted further, there's different rewards, but it's the top 5 get something. And usually it's the top 1 or 2 get like the more premium box for that division.
Yeah. Yeah, and knowing who's in your squad, I would never be in the top whatever 2.
Well, we have a couple people that are really, really good. Like your name is insane. Yeah. He might be the best on the platform at
your name.
Rivals. Yeah,
by far.
Yeah. And then Peachy's good. We have Sorare Mexico in our group. He's really good. You know, like if I have matchups that favor me and like my pro cards, I can exploit them. I can be pretty good, but only when I can exploit my pro cards.
Yeah, I pretty much only play when I have pro. Like I'll play the Midtjylland games, Copenhagen, Atlas.
Yeah, I'm not gonna outplay like the normal person. Like if it's like an even playing field, no, we're not winning.
Yeah, I mean it's not that it's not fun. I don't know. I just don't think of it that much, except when somebody was like yesterday. I had no intention of playing yesterday, and it was like, hey, do you have a Midtjylland lineup? And I was like, oh yeah, rivals. Threw in my cards, won by 140, and I'm just like, okay, cool. Moving on. I don't know. Why, you got an opening in the squad?
Well,
need some
not anymore.
Cards?
Not anymore.
Oh, okay. Oh well.
Not for a guy that doesn't want to be held accountable.
No, I don't. It's real. I don't. There's enough things I'm held accountable for in my life. I don't need people on the internet telling me I need to play rivals, or else we won't get some black box.
Dude, step it up.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's fun when I want to do it, and I just don't always want to do it. That's how I'll put it.
Okay.
Rob said, make a squad the court case depends on.
I think there should be a Sorare data squad, and Laird should be the leader.
I don't know if anyone at Sorare Data plays Rivals that regularly.
Well, you can get them involved. You can get them to play.
I don't even want to play. Why would I make them play?
I don't know.
Do you like that you can only be part of one squad?
I think I do. Yeah. Yeah. But it doesn't seem like you can get people out of your squad to add new people very easily.
You can't kick them out?
I don't think you can.
Like they have to leave voluntarily?
I don't know. Maybe I'm not like the leader, so I can't do it maybe.
I would love to hear about
You want some squad drama?
Yeah, I do. I would love to hear about that.
Yeah.
Blue Tomatoes' comment here. I want to go back to the gambling court case here. Because you meant, like, people keep talking about that. They're like, oh no, there's like a free way to play. But like, I don't think talking about Rivals, like, I don't think Rivals is the way that you're like, see, we're not gambling, because like that's not the part of the game that they're focusing on, I assume.
I don't know. It could be like it certainly could be helpful for them to have a free-to-play product like that that's a companion, and they can even say, well, we market the game as Sorare Rivals, like that's what the app's called, and I don't know. I'm again not a lawyer, but I'm sure there's justification for some of the things that they're doing.
Yeah, maybe. By the way, Turkey's starting.
What a clown.
I apparently played him somewhere. Look at me. Limited All-Star, maybe?
Yeah. Oreo said that online casinos also have a free-to-play mode.
Yeah.
Fake money.
Deanne said Rivals is gambling. Changed my mind. Meaning changed my mind? It's not. How about, did I change it? Blue Tomato said, does anyone despite Sorare and the court knowing exactly what's the reason, or are we all just guessing? Of course we're just guessing.
Yeah.
We're not experts here.
Well,
you're looking for expertise. You have come to the wrong
those
place.
that are actually lawyers.
What's that?
Except for those that are actually lawyers.
Right.
Yeah.
Blue Tomatoes, in fact.
Right.
Well, they may be
just
guessing.
Experts like me.
They may be guessing.
On UK laws.
Ricomon said for the rival squads, only the leader can kick people out. I saw a tweet about someone that kicked 2 people out so he could be a top 5 and get a reward. That is amazing.
That's the type of stuff I want to hear about. I love that.
Right, exactly.
And then he's like, hey, you guys want back in?
Yeah, that's exactly what I want to hear about. Ricomon said, is that why there's no Sorare Data Rivals focused features? To be totally honest with you, I'm not sure the market for people paying to win Rivals is big enough for us to justify putting resources towards it.
Come on. It would be fun to have some kind of lineup builder in Sorare Data.
That's different. It would be fun to have is very different than would you specifically pay for that?
I don't care.
Yeah, the answer is no.
I just want it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was one during the Euros. One of the FPL sites did it. I don't know if they're still doing it or not. Does anybody remember what the name of that one was? During
the Euros?
Yeah, they literally had like a lineup builder.
Didn't Ultimate Champions do something for that?
For the Euros?
Yeah. I thought they had something. Maybe I'm completely off. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, there was definitely one where like they had like projected scores And Draft Hound, Josh says. Draft Hound, Sorare Rivals. Here we go. This is it. Yes, we use cookies. Oh, they did. So it is. So here you go. Just use this.
How do I put my L15 cap in there?
They know what it is right here. Budget spent.
Really? Okay.
It's all here. I don't know if they do every game or.
I wonder if there's any data in here that's like helpful.
I'm going to see if they have projected points for Peñarol against Flamengo. How many points do you think they have for De La Cruz?
I don't know. He's gonna start, right?
Who knows? Where is he? There he is. 14 points he's projected for. Seems bad.
That doesn't make any sense. That makes literally 0 sense.
It would be incredible if he actually ended up on 14.
Yeah.
Anyway. Good shout, Josh. I've never used this before. I don't know. It looks cool. Yeah, I don't know. But there you go. There's your free tool. How big would the prize have to be for you to kick somebody out of your rival's squad so that you would win it?
To be fair, I'm not the captain.
Like if you were.
I have something called integrity, Laird, and I wouldn't do that unless we're talking about like
this is exactly what we're talking
$1 million or something.
$1 million?
Yeah, I mean, we can walk it back from there, and I'll probably still say yes. 900K, yes. 800,000, yes. I don't know. There's probably a number in there that I start to say no on.
10K.
Nah.
No, you wouldn't do it?
I wouldn't do it.
If you had the opportunity to remove a name of somebody that you met on the internet.
Yep.
Wow.
Here's the deal. At that point, it's just stealing. And I would say half the people or more in my squad I've met in person.
Yeah. So if you were cutting someone you didn't meet. Yeah, see?
No,
how about this?
No.
Would you do it if it was Finster?
No. Poor Finster. He having to deal with Sean.
Finster deserves that 10K, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, give him the money.
Do you think that's considered stealing in the UK?
Like Mike said, we're back to golden balls. Yeah. No, it's just a game. It's just a game. Yeah.
Mike also said, back on topic, do you think in 3 years' time we'll still be talking about the same stuff?
Yeah.
I hope so, as long as we're still going.
Yeah, as long as this gaming commission thing goes all right.
Yeah. Ryan Dino, so 10K is stealing, but 1 million is opportunity?
Maybe.
HB said, if you don't kick me out for 10K, I would just leave the squad. How about that?
Yeah, but no, you wouldn't, because you're the one getting the 10K.
How about this? Would you do it? Would you cut Sean so that Finster won the 10K?
Yeah. Yeah, I would. I would do it. That's an easy one. That wasn't even a hard one to answer.
Mm-hmm. That actually seems to fall more on the positive integrity line than the negative one.
Right.
Yeah. Would you do it to Sean just without the Finster part?
Maybe.
I think Sean would want us to do that just so he could complain about it.
Yeah.
Talk about how he runs bad on Sorare.
Mm-hmm. Rico wants to know what you think of the NBA update. Like, what's your thoughts on that?
Oh, Tadich sub today, sweet. The daily game I saw today looks pretty cool. I like the idea.
Is it like Rivals for NBA?
No, actually. Well, no, it's not, Andy. They described it as one-day contests where you find out the rules of the contest in the morning.
Oh, okay.
And so you build your lineup, you submit it, you can win either essence, you win reward boxes, which is essence and market credits. And then it's like a new one the next day. You have to use the cards in your gallery, and any cards that are in regular pro lineups cannot be used. Well, they can be used, but you cancel your pro lineup.
Right. It's interesting that you don't find the rules out until the day of. Like, what if you need a card from your pro lineups? You know, like that's where it's going to get messy.
Yep.
But I guess that's their mechanism for saying go buy a card.
So it is totally that, because there was a great line in the blog post where it was like, let me see if I can find it.
I wonder if there's a play, because I got rid of all my NBA cards, but I wonder if there would be a reason or a desire or whatever just to play the daily games. I like the idea of the daily games. You can avoid having to have the insane caliber players.
So it's kind of funny because it also said that the tiebreakers are first entry. So they're like, make sure you get your entries in like right away. It's like, oh, that's weird. But where was the...
It's like, are they really expecting that many ties?
I don't know. It said there's no advance notice of what the competition will be. It's designed to be a daily surprise to keep things going. So like last year when they had like the random ones where it was like a rule change or Eastern Conference only, like they're taking that out of the pro game and putting it into the daily one. But where was the biggest part of the announcement? Late swap. Cards are not locked until tip off. Like each individual card locks at 10 minutes before their game.
In all the competitions?
Just the daily game. Yeah. Where was the... Hold on. There was some line that was basically like, this is why you should never sell your cards. Like, always have cards available. I don't know. Somewhere there. But yeah, it seems cool. I wonder what the... Ricomon says it only pro cards. They have some sort of... they actually announced a new... like the common game is totally different too. I guess I'll announce now that I'm going to do an NBA show next week. And Sorare Data NBA channel is waking up.
Oh, nice.
Yep. So we'll do a show next week.
Is it with Mr. Zakarian?
Yes, it is.
How did I know?
Yes, it is. Because he's the only one who does Sorare NBA.
Yeah.
There's literally nobody else.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
He's the last one left. I'm going to do that. And then the following week, maybe someone from Sorare. Maybe. Yeah. Kika said, I just got on his daily game in season only. They announced that it is not. You can use any cards you want. Although they did say something like, it'll start that way. And it was like, oh, I see what you're doing here. But yeah. Oh, here it was. One day you may be running a pure play lineup, and the next could be dishing dimes, which are these names that they gave for these like wonky stat tournaments they give that nobody remembers. We'll really lean into the new rules, so keep your gallery fresh to meet the challenges.
Yeah, I'm not playing that. Not gonna do it.
Okay.
I like basketball, but I don't like how it plays as a fantasy game.
So I don't disagree with you at all. And I think Sora NBA works really well based on the limitations that they created. That basically this cap mode makes it hard. And with that being said, I'm not sure there's like an easy solution, because like you don't just want people to buy the 5 best players and they just win all the time, which is why they do like cap modes. I will say there was a tweet from a fairly prominent Sorare manager who was like, I could get into NBA. Can I just run a Knicks stack? And it was like, well, you can, but they have to fit into the cap.
Not only that, a stack doesn't work in basketball.
Also, that
you don't do that. Yeah.
And so, based on the game rules, it doesn't sound like Pranksy is going to play Sorare NBA.
Oh, that's who you're talking about.
But I feel like if you're going to try to get some rules here to get someone to play, that's the guy you want to try to get to play.
Yeah.
He said he went to a Knicks game once, now loves the Knicks and just wants to play a Knicks stack. And you can't really.
Let's see. It's Patrick Ewing and
Charles Oakley, Bernard King,
James Starks, right? Wasn't that his first name, James? John Starks.
Here he is. Right there.
Oh, wow. How about that?
John Starks. Red Panda said, does stacking even work in MLB? That's where stacking works.
Yeah.
You absolutely want to stack in MLB.
You want to stack, or you just want the best players? Both are fine.
Also true. Mike said, doesn't the late swaps only into the hands of stateside players? Can't see massive interest from Euro-based managers when playing at a disadvantage. I mean, Spicer was a huge NBA guy. He was in Germany. But I agree. It's not.
Yeah, what do those games start around, like 2 a.m. there or something? Like 7 p.m. here would be 1 a.m. there?
Like that, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's not. The schedule is absolutely not made up for a big European audience.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure they necessarily need to try to sell it to that audience.
It's funny because year one of NBA, I had a lot of fun because for whatever reason, I did not get slapped by too many of those DNPs that everybody was complaining about. Last year, I found them. I found them all. Yeah. And it was wild. Just how many guys would be like totally expected to start, and then 15 minutes before the game starts, oh, he's ill.
Yeah. And the worst part is not even that you lost out on that player, but like everyone who ends up winning gets the guy who started in his place. And like if you didn't find that news, like that news had nothing to do with me. But since I didn't get the other guy, it's like, I'm just at a massive disadvantage. That's my biggest problem with the NBA game. And I don't know if the daily game will solve that for me, but I'm certainly going to try and see what happens. Like not having to play every day. Like you don't have to play every day now. You know, it's 2 nights that you need to set your lineups around deadline, but like, I don't know. Ryan says MLB feels like the best balance of all 3 Sorare sports. From a gameplay perspective, I think MLB is far and away better than the other 2.
Yeah, MLB is a lot of fun. And I mentioned winning in NBA. Like I've not won much in MLB this year just because like most of my players are Cardinals and the Cardinals suck this year. Mm-hmm. But NBA product was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the sweats, getting to watch my players. Holy crap, Mark. Good seeing you.
Speaking of Sorare, he heard Sorare NBA and he's like, would NBA be more fun if they brought forward the deadline so that DNPs were more a thing like football?
Like just like you accept the DNPs more easily, like
keep them.
Yeah.
I would make the argument that they're more likely to do late swap.
In basketball?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which totally, like whoever in chat earlier said, I guess it was I don't know, somebody mentioned it totally turns off your European users.
I'm an American user and that turns me off. I definitely I would not.
Yeah, I mean, like, what are you doing at 7 p.m.? Well, not having dinner with the family. I'm performing late swap on my lineups.
But it's not even at 7. It's like at 7, at 8 for the Midwest games, then 10 o'clock for the West Coast. Like I don't think doing more. Mark said otherwise casual players won't feel they have a chance against the hardcore users that are around to make the late swap. Like that's, I think DFS, some of the DFS sites actually got rid of, is that right? They got rid of late swap. I don't know. Yeah. It's just like a really tough situation because it's like you do end up with more DNPs and that's not a good feeling either.
Yeah. I feel like you almost always have an equal number of people on each side of the, like I don't want that in my life, or no, let us have the most effect over our lineups. Let us,
yeah. If I want to put the work in, let me be the one who wins. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I don't think the market is big enough. Like the potential market is big enough for them to make it a super complex game. And so if they make it easier, then people should come in and play. But yeah, it's why baseball is so much better. From a game perspective, at least. The irony is I barely watch baseball. Mike said set and forget is the pro game. Late swap is the daily game. You can play either independently of the other. The problem is that the pro game is not really set and forget either. Like all of the news around the deadline is super important. And yeah. Mark said, so can the game grow and attract new users then? DNP is not great, but is accepting DNP for user acquisition better than turning away casual gamers? Oh, I like this. Blue Tomatoes. That NBA game sounds very skillful to me. Way to bring it back. I think, maybe the DNPs are, maybe, Andy, maybe. NBA is where we start getting subs.
No comment.
Ryan Dean, you remember the optimism of just needing Drake and Shaq to play Sorare NBA and we'd all be rich? I do remember that. Before the first cards launched, people were like...
I don't remember Shaq. I remember Drake.
I remember Drake, yeah.
Yeah.
We just need Drake to buy that one card, and then everyone's like, oh. And then that DeMar DeRozan Raptors unique went up, and Drake was nowhere to be found. Maybe this is the Drake year. It'll be like the Gary V boom, but it's Drake. The Sorare NBA Drake boom. Mike said, let's face it, by the time the NBA season starts, it may not matter to us in the UK. It is after October 4th. Oh, man. I feel like we're going to get ourselves in trouble if we keep talking about this. I would play the Jose Mourinho gif right now, but...
I mean, who's going to get you in trouble, Laird?
Not me. I'm not in trouble.
Yeah.
We might get Nico in trouble.
No.
No?
No. Nico's got great lawyers. We can't get him in trouble.
Okay.
We can say whatever we want.
What if Joey Durso's listening?
No, he might be. Hi, Joey.
Hi, Joey. I got nothing else. You?
I was going to make a comment with regarding anybody with a Y at the end of their name, but I realize that's self-inflicting, so I won't say it. But he is, all right. But he is just a baby kangaroo, so.
All right. All right, you'll be Andrew from now on. It's just 2 Andrews now.
Right.
Thank you to everybody for coming. If you could please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Shout out to Quinny. That does end in a Y as well. I'll be back tomorrow with something. I don't know. We'll find out. Maybe a countdown to October 4th. We'll see. Anyway, thank you to everybody, and don't forget to get those steps in.
Welcome to the Sorare.